30 starts out looking really difficult because it's something that you haven't done directly. The thought process that you have to go through is really a good one because it helps you understand what's actually going on when you're dividing polynomials. So to start this one out, I'm going to give you something super straightforward. And so I want you to think about what happens when you take 4 into 48. Now I hope all of you can see that that is 12. Okay, so this is the quotient. 12 is the quotient, right? Okay, so what they're asking here essentially is, what are the two values? If you know the quotient, what are the two possible values that could have been divided? So essentially what they're asking us to do is find this value and find this value if you've been given the quotient, okay? So we've been given the quotient. They've told us this big mess right here is the quotient. All right, so could we look in the quotient for a hint for what may have been our divisor? Well, I hope you can see pretty quickly that that's the x minus 4 value. Because remember that when you have a remainder, you write it over x minus 4 when you're dividing polynomials. So if we think that x minus 4 may be one of our factors that, or maybe one of the things that was divided, the polynomials that was divided, what would be the other piece, okay? How could we find that other piece, okay? Well, think about what we've got going on here. 4 times the quotient gives us the dividend, right? Okay, so if we think we have our divisor, our x minus 4, couldn't we multiply that by our quotient to see if we can get what was inside the little house? And the answer is yes, we sure could. So let's try that. We've got x squared minus 6x plus 8 minus 2 over x minus 4. Now, let's use the distributive property. Again, I'm going to do something that may blow your mind a little bit. Not too much, I don't think, because you all are smart. But I want us to multiply all of the x minus 4 times this last term first. Okay, so when I multiply x minus 4 times this, technically that's x minus 4 over 1, right? X minus 4 over 1. So that means this x minus 4 right here is going to cancel with this x minus 4 in the denominator because I'm multiplying. Which means that when I multiply this first term times this last term, all I'm left with is negative 2. I'm going to write that out there. Now I'm going to use the distributive property and multiply everything else individually. So I have x minus, x times this, and x times this. Okay, let's write this down. That's x to the third. This is going to give me negative 6x squared, and this is going to give me plus 8x. Okay, next thing I need to do is multiply this negative 4 by all of this stuff, right? Okay, so then I get negative 4x squared, and I'm just going to write it directly underneath because I'm going to have to be adding some like terms anyway. Negative 4 times negative 6x is going to give me positive 24x. So there I've got positive 24x, and then here I've got negative 32. I'm going to bring that over here and write it underneath this. Now I can start adding all this stuff together because I'm just really adding like terms together after I've used the distributive property. So that gives me x to the third minus 10x squared plus 32x minus 34. Okay, so what we were asked to do is find two polynomials that may have been divided to end up with this. Okay, well there we have it. Here's one of them. The other one is x minus 4. So I'm hoping that you see that if you would take x minus 4 into this, you would end up with this.